Und der Sicht meistens heute.
Okay. How does it feel at the end of a day like that? Do you like your job in an evening like that?
I love my job, but I hate talking to people like you.
Thanks.
No, I mean, I love it right now because I said earlier on, you're the last person I'm talking to, so you probably get the best interview, darling, don't I?
I mean, the whole thing like this afternoon when you have to talk to so many journalists, what goes
Well,
inside?
it's part of my job, so I have to do it. We don't do it. It made me think, you know, that about 13 years ago we...
All right.
Generations of intimidation. I think it's very difficult. Yeah. What he's saying is, if you live in a place where there are powerful hunts, there's an incredible amount of pressure on you to support them, right? And it will become, there's the carrot on one side, you know, you'll be a good guy if you support the hunters. On the other side, you'll be intimidating, and your animals might get killed if you don't support them. And it's very heavy stuff. Well, I know, because we have a lot of people who write to us about this kind of thing. I think it's gradual. I think you have to reinforce people's belief in that they are right and they are not alone. And gradually they can come out and support people like us who fight against the hunts. But it's a real problem, yeah. Also, you know, some proper honest reporting in the papers would help. Right.
You know, is I think when you said that what differentiates us from animals is our compassion. And for me, and it's just a gut feeling, that the gut response more than anything else, is that when I think relatively what the human race have done, treating, as you said, other races on their own, and you compare other animal species, how they treat their own and other species and work with order, I think human beings probably have the lowest level of compassion.
Yeah, we have great potential to become properly compassionate. Yeah, but your point is good. I mean, I agree with you about the human race, obviously.
Yeah.
We're very disappointing.
Yeah.
So,
I have a couple of points. Being as you are, one of the biggest rock bands in the world, do you have much influence? Can you have much influence with that lovely person, Mr. Cameron? Because obviously, we all know fox hunting is still going on now. So with our staff, we get heads kicked in, or vice versa, whatever, the dogs that are out there, it's still happening. So whether it comes back in or not, it doesn't matter to these people because they're still doing it. I was wondering, obviously, with you, with the power, obviously, who you are, have you ever tried to approach it, or is he just a victim?
I don't know, I haven't met him. No. I've met some of them. In the period before the election, I was sort of kind of apolitical, and I was able to get in the doors of all the parties, which was quite nice. But and I actually voted Conservative a lot of my life, before I thought about it so much. And I don't think they're all bad. You know, I'm not going to fall into the trap of, you know. I mean, we're very close to a bunch of equal conservatives against hunting, which is a great thing, you know. And it's very difficult to be a conservative against hunting, and these people are very brave. So we're offering our help to them, and we're very grateful that they're there. You know, so it's not really about politics. And if I did meet David Cameron, I hope I do someday. You know, I will try and have a logical conversation with him. I'm sure the guy's not all bad. You know, in this area, I think he is bad. You know, I think it's a very, very bad place to be. I've met Nick Herbert, who's very much part of that clique, if you like. And everybody thought Nick Herbert was going to be the new head of DEFRA, but he didn't get that job. He's now head of police. And one of the things I would like to happen is for people to ask questions in the House as to, are the laws on hunting being enforced or not? I mean, if they're not being enforced, why? You know, and I think that's the spot we should be putting Nick Herbert on. Because if he says no, he really doesn't have a leg to stand on. We've got a law there. Why would some laws be enforced and others not enforced? You know, if he says yes, then you have power from the top, which means that all these police forces who are a little bit kind of influenced and intimidated by the hunt, as you said, will have to take notice and will have to do the job properly. I don't think it's a bad law, the hunt law. I really don't. You know, and I think the fact that we saw Tony Blair Conservatives against hunting, welcome. Thank you. We saw, I mean, Tony Blair in his book blew that idea apart, because he, as soon as the law was in place, which he hadn't even had the courage to vote on either way, he basically shot it in the foot by saying, oh, you know, don't bother to enforce it. You know. So we know now why that law didn't work so well, not because it's not a good law, but because it wasn't properly enforced. We need it to be properly enforced. Right.
Do you plan to give any of these talks to the media to counter
I try and do my bit in the media. So I probably didn't answer your question very well. What do I do? You know, I don't have that much influence with these people. A lot of people, you know, their kids like Queen, or their granddads like Queen. Oh, it's getting like that. You know, so I get some doors open to me, but I'm not the person that they will listen to unless they think it's going to do them some good. You know, and the best thing you can do with any politician, even if they're the good ones, and I don't think there are that many good ones, you know, is to persuade them that what you're proposing to them is going to get them votes. You know, if you can say to them, look, 75% of your constituency in your party are against fox hunting, maybe you should be voting against fox hunting in Parliament, and in that case, maybe you will get more votes. Now, that's when the penny starts to drop in their heads. So I try and do that. As regards the media, sorry, you know, I do bits and pieces when the opportunities arise. It's getting a little better, I think. You know, I was viewed as a, you know, a rock star. What do rock stars know? You know, that was there for, but that's beginning to change a little bit, and people. I could give more talks, yes, I could do. Yeah. Well, I'll go to Eton, shall I? I think I've been invited to Eton. Brian Ferry, That's one of the hardest things for me, the fact that people in my business, you know, are on the other side. It's a very hard thing to deal with, you know, and I don't want to sort of start wars with them, because in some ways they've done so much good in the world, you know. You know, some of them have done great work for charities other than animal charities. You know, you can't start kind of slagging these people off. So it's a difficult balance, and I try to be outspoken without being needlessly confrontational, I suppose, because you need to keep your powder dry. To use a painting. No, it's a wartime method. Please.
Can I just say how important it is for all of us? Because MPs do listen to what they say. I know I'm able to hear that. And if we keep putting pressure on them, then they'll have to take their notice. So don't dismiss sending an email to your MP, especially those of us in a conservative constituency is paramount. So please do send those emails to your conservative MP especially. It's important because they do look at them. Even though they might not get back to you, they do look at them.
And they send you a nice standard response.
Yeah.
Love that standard response. I tell you, if I've got time to answer my emails, the bloody MP's got time to answer it. That really, really pisses me off. People put a standard letter back. You know, we don't need that. That's an insult. But anyway, thank you. Have we got time? Are we all right for time?
Well, perhaps one more question.
Lady, here.
I think we can all agree there's a tremendous amount of passion here today. Excuse me, sorry. And we would all like to do something really, really positive to move forward here and to stop all the abuse that's going on both in farming and in hunting, etc., etc. Now, nobody will listen to us. My MP is a waste of space, I'm sorry, Therese Coffey. She is a member of the Countryside Alliance. She's not interested in vivisection, in CCTV cameras and slaughterhouses. She doesn't want to know about anything at all. And I've been to see her, and I'm always very respectful, etc., etc. I'm sure everybody is. What I'm saying is the only people that can help us, I feel, in our fight is the media. And the media is anti-animal rights.
On the whole, not entirely, but largely. Yeah.
Mostly anti-animal rights. Now, the only way you can get them on your side is for someone to speak out for animal rights, such as yourself, with the statement campaign. And they will listen to you, and they will listen to you not because you care more than us, you care as much as us, obviously, but they will listen to you because people know your name still. You know, from
I'm up for it.
They've got the power to change things. Governments don't listen to people like us. You can make the difference.
Well, I'll try. One last one.
If I could say something, because I may just be the only person in the room who's ever been an MP. I was an MP for 13 years until May when I lost my seat. And what I remember is before the 97 election, our local animal welfare group, they pinned every candidate down and got them to make a statement. And they had a stall in the town centre week after week after week, promoting, not promoting, publicising these statements. So it actually became, or actually wasn't the #1 issue, but it was a significant issue about which more people were taking note. Now in the recent election, even though the future of the ban was clearly at stake, until your own campaign got going, the issue was submerged. And what I think happened was the sort of animal welfare movement, certainly in my part of the country, which is not too far away from Suffolk coastal, there weren't the same amount of street stalls and that leading up to the campaign. It's no good waiting for 4 weeks of election campaign. This sort of thing has to go on in months and years. And I think actually it is just simply numbers and brute force politics which is, because the arguments are very good. I'm proud that I campaigned and I spoke and I voted for the Parliament.
Brilliant.
And I've got a constituency that has a huge rural area, and you know there is no fox hunt in my former constituency, but no farmer had ever complained about problems with foxes. However, there is still a hare hunt, and as we know, the Birds Committee concluded that the hare is just not an agricultural pest, so it's got nothing to do with coincides. The arguments have run out. It is about brute force and political pressure and actually getting people lined up behind it. So I think it's an excellent idea to take the Prime Minister on. To leave today thinking we'll leave it to Brian. That's true.
I think really we should leave it there because, bless you, but I think that's a great way to end. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
say we can't leave everything to Brian. We've all got to pull together. We've all got to do our bits. And I know everyone here has worked so hard to help us with this. And Brian was wonderful and very, very good for us to work together. Please don't forget to go to the deficit by Tuesday, Wednesday. We have to do all the questions that we have. Thank you, Brian.